All right, so look, we just gonna go and get straight to it. You know what I mean? This Real Talk podcast, Coty Martin, aka Coty Motivation. I'm here with Shaq Double D. Off top, I want you to just tell everybody about All Black Comedy, where it come from, how it got started, and how you got started into comedy. Like that's a real story in itself, man. I just kind of want you to just let it rip.
All right, All Black Comedy Show. It's my church, which I'm building. It's gonna evolve into a mega church. That's my vision for it. I started doing comedy in 2010 in the trenches on Old National in Atlanta at Carlos Miller spot. With promoter Skull Bubble. Rest in peace, Skull Bubble.
Yeah, rest in peace.
And I've been doing comedy for 10 years now. I got a dark sense of humor. And I talk about relationship and women a lot. With my comedy.
So look, before we get into that, right? Tell me how you got started. Like tell people how you got started in comedy. Like what was the start? And what was the defining moment that said, this is my thing. This is what I want to do.
I didn't want to be changed by the world, so I wanted to do something with myself, who I was. I didn't want to put on somebody's name tag and become that. I wanted to maintain who I was, so I listened to the universe. I was always me. I always said, just rude or inappropriate comments, and the real defining moment was, I graduated from Howard University and I go to homecoming every year. I have perfect attendance at homecoming and I'm going to be at Howard University homecoming whether I'm dead or in jail. I got to be dead in jail to not be there. So, and I always go whether I'm down or not because it always lifts my spirits. So I was at homecoming one year, with my teammates and some other folks, making everybody laugh, doing what I do. And they like, man, boy, Shaq, you crazy, bro. You should do comedy. And I was already thinking about it, but that was just like a push. Like, you know what I'm saying? You damn right. And I went back and did comedy that Monday after I had got back from homecoming.
Okay, so look, I remember your journey a little bit, right? So look, correct me if I'm wrong, because my memory ain't the greatest. Shout out to football or not from my memory. But I remember you disappeared. You kind of you tried it. I don't know how you got that opportunity or whatever, but you tried it, and when you came back, I don't know if you bombed. I don't know if you was successful. I don't know what you did, but I do know that you attempted something that was outside of your comfort zone, and you did it, and you came back with a whole different spirit, and from that point on, you never left the stage. So tell me about that journey, bro, because I really I'm really like curious just to kind of understand and really know that. You know what I'm saying? How did you start? What gave you that spark to just not ever put a mic down again?
Okay, well, all right. I used to go to Old National. Carlos Miller was hosting a spot, and I used to just go support his show. And I used to be in there laughing my ass off, and shit like that. And they kind of knew me in there. And one night, I went up to Carlos and I was like, hey, man, I'm trying to see, trying to get started doing comedy. I want to do something. He was like, I didn't know how comedy worked. So Carlos was like, I'm just the host. You got to go holler at Skull. He was the promoter. So I went to holler at Skull. He like an old school pimp, right? But I was familiar with him. He familiar with me, but not comedy wise. Just just familiar with him. We had spoke before. So I was like, "What's up, Skull? I'm trying to get started doing comedy." So he was like, "Well, hell, you first." And I was like, he said it like that, and I was like, but I ain't, I started to say. He was like, hey. He cut me off and was like, hey, if you're scared, don't fuck with me. I wanted to walk off. I was like, I ain't scared. He was like, all right, you first. So I went, got me a few shots. I didn't do good, but it wasn't like a bomb would like, get your ass out of here. It was like, bro, I was saying shit so crazy that it was like I had to learn how to convey my funny to other people. Like the comedians was dying at the shit I was saying because they was. I mean, people still be like in awe of my audacity of the things I say because I have comedians tell me they wish they can say shit that I say.
Right.
So I said it didn't come off as funny, but the comedians and the promoter. When I got down, I did about 3 to 5 minutes probably, which
Right.
seemed like 15 minutes when you knew.
Yeah.
So I got down and he was like, "Hey man, you crazy as hell. Like, yeah, come back next week." You know what I'm saying? Keep doing that shit.
Right.
Yeah. So it was like a crazy as hell. He ain't say necessarily like funny as hell. You killed that shit, because I didn't.
Right.
But the shit that I was saying, it was like being a comedian. Like when you see somebody go for their first time, you know if they're funny or not, whether they make the crowd laugh or not. It's just their point of view at things.
Yep.
That's comedy. It's like comedians think different. I did that and I kept going back and I was the first. And that shit, it made you stronger because it was Old National. It's the trenches for real. We call it the trench because it's the hood. They shooting
Right.
pool while you on stage. It's football games on while you're on stage. They don't
Right.
necessarily give a fuck about comedy until you make them give a fuck. So you have to say
Yeah.
things to get their attention.
Okay, so you got up there, you did your thing. Who told you? Sko told you, or
It was
Carlos
Sko.
told you?
It was
Okay,
Sko Bub.
so Sko Bubba told you crazy hair. Come back next week. You came back next week, and what happened?
Hey man, I came back. It was about the same. Okay, I remember. I don't know if it was my second or third time, but it was one of my in the infancy of my career. Carlos, you know what I'm saying? I was always first in this room for about a whole 4 or 5 months at least. I only knew a couple spots to do comedy. So Carlos, one night we was in there. Carlos was like, they was like, who next? And then Sko like told him that I was next, Shaq. He was like, oh, okay, Shaq next. He about to come up here and cuss y'all out. But I'm gonna tell you one thing about Shaq. Once he figured this shit out, he gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying? And just, what I'm saying, Carlos so funny, I mean that was, what I'm saying, it was a compliment. I knew I was on to something. They knew too, you know what I
Right.
mean? It was just
Right.
that was like a turning point, and that was like an extra boost, and I was like, I'm gonna get this shit. Okay, and like throwbacks is a spot like comedians used to duck the stage. Like it's like that. It's like certain comedians like to go in rooms, giggles on everybody's a winner, and like you did for trying. But in throwbacks, they'll be like, get your ass out of here. They'll throw something at you, man. They'll boo you, kill yourself, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. That's what kind of environment it is.
Right.
So one night I'm running late. I'm coming from another show. So I'm known in the building, you know what I'm saying? Like known, not saying I was the shit or nothing, but they used to check. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't so somebody had bombed horribly. And when somebody bombed the host, you know what I'm saying, go in on them, whatever. And I remember Carlos was like, do anybody want to go after this shit? Like one of the, because it's open mic, which one of the comedians want to go after this shit? So somebody yelled, put Shaq up. And Carlos was like, man, Shaq ain't even here. But I had walked in late. They was like, yeah, he is. He in the back. He said, Shaq, you want to do something? And you know what I'm saying? I ain't going to bitch up. What I look like? No, I'm straight. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, put me up. So they put me up. Bruh, I went up there. The first thing I said, killed. I was on their ass. I killed for probably about, this is my first time, like, I can say I ripped. Like it wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? Like when you rip in comedy, you don't have to ask. I'm not getting off the stage and say, bro, how I did it.
Right.
You don't have to do that when you like, you know what I'm saying? The comedians mob me and everything. I'm the new dude, bro. And then I knew I was here. Then you get embraced by your peers. You know what I mean? That's how comedy works. But one thing about comedy is like at that point, when you first get good, all the comedians, they have information. They got advice for you. They're going to tell you this. They're going to try to put you on little things, tell you where to go. Until you become funny for real, then you're a competition. And then it's like everybody back off. Then it's like, you know what I'm saying, you on your own, like get your own shows, you know what I'm saying, figure it out yourself. People keeping secrets about auditions, shows, stuff like that. But me, I was alone. I didn't join comedy for friends. You know what I mean? And so I wasn't tripping on none of that. I was a new comedian. I wasn't a new nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt. Like, so I used to just come around and, do my thing and leave. You feel me? But, I'm cool with the comedians while I'm there. And when I'm gone, I go back to my life. Comedy was a great experience, man. I love doing it. Comedy is like a drug. And when I say that, it's like, bro, I could be down. I can be broke. I could be going through something. I could have death in the family, bro. I go do a show. I'm telling you, I go rip the show. It's like, bro, it's a high. You feel me? Like it's a real high that you can't explain. So you get bit by that bug, and you always want that feeling. You feel me? You know. And another reason, it's like why I do comedy. It's like I always have to have purpose in my life, or I'm a self-destruct. I've been, you know what I'm saying, I had purpose since I was 9. I started playing football at 9, and I always something to better at. And you know what I mean? After college, I played football up until college. And then, after that, I had to find something to do with myself. And then I started boxing. I boxed for a little bit, for a year, and then I left DC. And I always knew I wanted to do comedy. It was just the fact of starting. And when I did get started, I never stopped, bro.
So your first year of comedy, you had your own room, right? That you started inviting different comedians to come to perform, right? Like, tell me about that. Like, tell me how that got going, and tell me what that did for you as a comedian, as a new comedian.
Yeah, my first room, it was Studio 630, and which is the Trap House Museum right now.
Is that
the
really?
Trap Museum? That's
the Trap Museum. Is that Studio?
Yeah.
Bro, I did not even know that.
Studio 630, bro. Yes,
oh,
that building,
okay.
Bro. So
the same people still own it?
They sold it to T.I.
Oh, they sold it to T.I.
Yeah, they had sold it.
Okay.
Yeah, they had sold it to T.I. and he turned it into the Trap Museum. So that was my first room. It was over in the Bluff. You know what I'm saying? Over in the trenches. Year 1, bro, I started out, you know what I'm saying, hosting. That makes you stronger as a comedian because you're better off the cuff, and like you just got more opportunities to work on your own craft because you hitting the stage at least 8 times when you were a host. And
it's your room. You got control of it.
I'm running things. I got control of it, and I'm networking with other comedians. Everybody find your number when you got a stage. So everybody gonna reach out and try to get some stage time. That's how comedians. Comedians are a whore for laughs. You just need some people in the crowd, and comedians will do their thing. They just want the mic. So I had good turnouts, man. It was classic nights. I had everybody, like, I'm talking about year 1. I had people like Rodney Perry, Carlos Miller, Clayton English. These people that nationally known. Come out, and I was just in a year doing a comedy for a year. So that's what type of impact. I got respect early in the game. Even I got booked at Uptown. I had been doing comedy for 2 years, and that was like a record. I had one comedian of my peer that did do it faster than that. That was it. But I was booked with TK Kirkland after doing comedy for like 2 years.
Yes, sir.
And I killed that. Working with TK was cool. There was a promoter from Uptown had put that together because he figured our styles would work good together. So I had a good weekend featuring for TK. After I finished my weekend featuring for TK Kirkland for 5 shows, we was in the green room talking, and he said, "Shaq Double D, I like you. You're funny. You're almost too funny. This will be your last time working with me." And I was like, well, I was taken aback. I'm a new comic. I thought I did my thing. I thought it was time to level up and do some more shit together. He was like, nah. He was like, look, if you think about it, you're just a younger me. I'm T to the motherfucking K. You're Shaq Double D. 2 D's for a double dose of this pimping. We talk about the same subject matter. He was like, hey, man, you're good. Get your own show. At least I told you. But
you gotta respect that.
I respect the fact, because there's a lot of comedians you can work with, older comedians, and like you can do your job, not bother the headliner, not be a problem. You know what I mean? And then they just become hard to get in touch with, and you don't know why. You know what I mean? And that's the reason. But TK told me to my face, looking me in my eye, he was like, "That'll be the last time we work together." You know what I mean? He can say that. He OG in the game. But me and TK, we still friends, but I really hadn't worked with him since.
So you're a new comedian. you got your first start with, at a spot throwbacks with Carlos Miller used to host. And then, 2 years in, you got booked. You started getting booked at Uptown Comedy, right? Well, before you started getting booked at Uptown Comedy, you had your own room. So you started out
Yeah.
at Throwbacks. You had your own room at Studio 630. Then right after that, you started getting booked at Uptown Comedy. Like what? So, like that's a hell of a story, right? Like that's a great like way to start, especially in a new industry, right? Like you started getting embraced by some of the best people. You know what I mean? In comedy. Your first year in comedy. You know what I'm saying? So what impact did, outside of just your natural talent, right? You just being funny naturally. Outside of that, what impact did you having your own room, you deciding that, okay, well, I'm just not gonna keep asking people for handouts. I'm gonna go ahead and create my own opportunity. Like, what impact did that have on you? And do you think the outcome would have been different for you as far as just the notoriety and the relationship that you built had you not gotten your own room?
Yeah. Well, one, people take you as serious as you take yourself. When you ain't got nothing popping, then you're not valuable. When you have your own stage, your own room, you make yourself valuable in the game, and other comedians want to reach out to you and want to get to know you. And one, I'm working on my shit, and two, I always brought respectable crowds out. Comedians in the game, they've been in the game, they come up and see that. There's comedians that been in the game 10 years that'll show up room, and I'm in year one, and they're amazed that I'm bringing. That's a big part of the game. A lot of people can be funny, but everybody don't bring people out. I was bringing people out.
You said you was bringing people out, and you was bringing out a respectable crowd. Like, when you say respectable crowd, what do you mean by that?
Oh, I mean a crowd where if somebody new show up, I'm not gonna have to apologize. I'm just getting started. I come and it's other people at the show, and once other people come see what you got going, they see success, they gonna tell other people, and that's the best promotion. And comedians even do that. Comedians talk a lot. They come like, dang, what? Some comedians came thinking that it's not gonna be shit, and it is the shit. And then they call, text each other. You know what I'm saying? Social media, Shaq Double D got it popping over here.
So when you started really popping in terms of like your own room, you started networking with different comedians. You know what I'm saying? Then I started seeing like, popular comedians, not just any comedians. Started being popular comedians that started, blessing your stage, right? Those relationships. How were those relationships built, and how did you maintain those relationships? Because it's important. The reason I ask you that is because it's important for people to know how important relationship building is. And it's also important for people to understand how important it is to have your own. Like, when you don't have an opportunity, how important it is to create your own opportunity, and everything can start coming towards you. When you wait, you sit back and you wait for handouts. I mean, 9 times out of 10, people ain't in business to give you no handout. You know what I'm saying? People are in business for business, and it's just that. So in order for you to succeed in business, 9 times out of 10, you got to be the captain of your own ship. So, those relationships and all that, having your spot, those relationships, and maintaining those relationships. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, people tend to help you when you helping yourself, or you know what I'm saying, when you not you know what I'm saying, when you seem pretty good on your own, people want to help you. Like, it's just like that. When you're not looking for help, then they want to help. So I didn't come in the game, you know what I'm saying, asking for pointers and none of that, even though I got them. And then, I'm always me. I know how to handle myself. I just, come around and like energy will link up.
Yes,
so,
sir.
When I first started, I started in Carlos Miller room, I started doing a lot of shows with him. And he's one of the first person to bring me on the road. It was, I don't know who literally was, but the first people was Carlos, Chris Smokey Jones, and Fredo Davis. Those are the
Okay.
first like 3 to embrace me. Just
Yeah.
comedy period. You know, with Carlos, I went on we got a unofficial Coke and Smoke tour that we went on. You know, we went, yeah, real shit. We went from Ohio to down through Florida. We did Orlando. We went all through Florida. We did Orlando, Tampa, and Miami. But we called it the Coke and Smoke tour because Carlos drank Coke, not snorted, none of that. You know, drinking Coke and smoking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Smoking. You know, that's self-explanatory. You know.
Right. Exactly.
So that's all we did. That's all we did when we went doing comedy. You know, just kicking and talking shit in the hotel. That shit was cool. You know, right. Carlos cool as hell. Carlos is a comedian 24/7. You don't know when he's serious or not. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, one of the funniest people I know. And also, Chris Smokey Jones. This is how we got cool. All right. Me and Smoke, right? We was talking about throwbacks earlier. So Smoke was like, Shaq, why I only see you in throwbacks? I was like, this is the only spot I know. He was like, what? God damn it, nigga, we got rooms every night. So he told me, you know what I'm saying, to go to, he told me a spot to go to. So I started going to different spots, and then Smoke had took me on the road, right? Me and Smoke, we not even friends that we are now. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
This one I knew Smoke was real. So Smoke was the headliner. He bought me on the road, you see what I'm saying? Just to feature, right? It's his show. You know what I'm saying? Promoters pay me, Smoke pay me. You feel me? I mean, the promoters pay Smoke. Smoke pays me. You got me? So Smoke doing me a favor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doing me a whole favor. So we had one hotel room. It was one bed. And it was Smoke hotel room. You know what I'm saying? It was for him. So, but I had drove. And it was one bed. So we walked in the room. Smoke said, Shaq, go and get the bed. I'm a real nigga. I'm going to sleep on the floor. No. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, I thought he was joking. But he was like, shit, throw me a blanket and one of them pillows. And that nigga really got on the floor and went to sleep. He the headliner. You know what I'm saying? I slept in the bed, you know what I'm saying? So we had got, you know what I'm saying, tight after that. You know, that was just real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I ain't saying too many. It ain't no other headliners that's going to tell the feature to sleep in the bed and they going to sleep on the floor. It just don't work like that. Right. Smoke is that real. Smoke just different like that.
Yeah.
And we've been cool ever since. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Chris Set It Off Jones, one of the funniest.
Set It Off.
Yeah, one of the funniest comedians I ever seen, man. He a fool in real life, man.
In real life.
And then, and then Fredo Davis. The show I was telling you about the first time I had killed at Throwbacks, Fredo had told me, all the comedians had mobbed me, and he was like, hey, boy, I'm taking you, you know what I'm saying? You going to go on the road with me. He had this room in Augusta that we used to go, and the comedians had a unlimited bar tab. And why they want to do that? You know what I'm saying? So we get paid, you know what I'm saying? We got paid, but the drinks, I mean, the pay wasn't a whole bunch, but we got paid in, you know what I'm saying, entertainment, like drinks and whatever. We had a good time.
Right.
It's more memories than business being handled on, at that point.
3 respectable comedians that you rocking with, they done embraced you. Mm-hmm. Y'all vibing. You done had your own room. You're still a new comedian, and you going hard, right? Like you going hard. Okay. Yep. So again, what made you say this is what I want to do? Like this is my thing. Like I'm good at it. Like this is what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And not only just that question, I want to know. After you get into that, I just kind of want to know how did the All Black Comedy Show come about? Then I want to know your plans. Okay. But we'll get into that after. So, just elaborate a little bit on that.
With comedy, all right. I always wanted to have my own, so I had my own room year one. And my first show, the name of that was Laugh Now, Die Later. And then I had that for at least a year or two. Then I left there and I went to I was at Harold's Chicken. I was at another there shortly, and then I moved to the West End where I was doing with Ripset Comedy, Ripset Mondays. Yeah. I was doing that, and I kept seeing, like, I was leaving spots because it was no reason of my own. I'm always, you know what I'm saying, doing my show. The show always funny, bringing people out, but it's always business with the owner of the venue. I kept like, you know what I'm saying, promoting people's spot, like, you know what I'm saying. So I wanted to be about my show, not the venue. So
Right.
once I started the All Black Comedy Show, you know, I named it All Black Comedy Show, and no matter where I perform, where I set up, it's the All Black Comedy Show. It's not about the venue that I'm at. The All Black Comedy Show is here to stay, and you know, I'm gonna involve it and you know, evolve it into you know, a mega church. You know, that's what I mean. You know,
Right. Right.
I plan on getting my own club. You know,
Right.
it go from a show to a club.
Right.
And when I say
Exactly.
mega church, I just got my style of comedy. You know, it's called the ghetto gospel. You know,
Right.
and you know, it's you know, it's somewhat preaching. You know, but
You
at the
said
same
somewhat
time,
preacher.
it's bringing lessons and blessings. Yeah, it's somewhat preaching, but it's it's church without the religion. You know,
Okay.
church without you know, it's church without the spookism of in the superstition. It's about realism and things that can actually elevate your life and things that actually happen, things that we actually been through. You know,
Right.
just
But
yeah,
delivered, but
yeah,
delivered in a more aggressive, to the point type manner.
yes, exactly. And
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it's you know, and I'm here to electrify, unify the people. You know,
So there's a
that's what
whole
I
lot
do.
of, so your comedy style is a whole lot of shock value, but at the end of the day, you delivering the message.
Exactly, bro. It's
Yeah.
shock value to get your attention, and you know what I mean. It's medicine because it's gonna help you. But I put some, you know, put some medicine in the candy. It's candy because it's jokes, but I put medicine in the
Absolutely.
candy.
Right.
Hmm.
But I want to talk about this
Hmm.
because we kind of skipped over a period of time, and there was a moment because you know I'm going through just the journey, like everything that led up to how you started comedy to like where you at now with the All Black Comedy Show. But you was hot, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, in the beginning of your career, and then
Hmm.
um there was a period in time that you just said, I'm gonna just take a break right now, right? Not because you wasn't given any opportunities,
Hmm.
not because you didn't want to create any
Hmm.
opportunities. There was just a period of time that you just kind of decided, I'm a pause. Well, I don't know if you decided that. There was a period of time where there was a pause, right? Everybody want to know what's
Hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying? You
Hmm.
kind of removed yourself from the scene, right? And I know
Hmm.
that there was a lot of adversity being dealt with, right?
Hmm.
In that
Hmm.
moment. I want you
Hmm.
to explain whatever you feel like explaining because there was a lot of things that took place, but I want you to explain the adversity that took you from something that you so love, well paused you, not took you, but kind of paused you for something that you so love, right? And the desire to succeed in that wasn't as powerful as a desire to survive, right?
Hmm.
Talk a little bit about that gap and how you
Oh
was able
well,
to overcome those obstacles and that adversity and continue to succeed in the area of comedy.
well. One, I was laying low for a reason. One, I had warrants at point in my life, like real shit. And it's for traffic shit, so I don't care about talking about it. I just didn't have the money to pay or whatever, and I was like, "Dude, you know, catch me if you can," type. You know what I'm saying? So I put myself in jail, so I wouldn't be in jail for real. You know, so I
Okay.
just was laying low. You know, and I was laying low for other reasons because I don't like to, you know, I wasn't doing good, and when I'm down, you know, I can tend to take things out on other people. So I wouldn't be
Right.
around people, so I wouldn't, you know. So
Right.
I just stay to myself, you know,
Right.
and it was just like, bruh, and I was the whole time I was planning, plotting, and strategizing too So, you know, it wasn't just idle time, it's just off the scene. And one, I
Right.
seen
Okay.
myself as a comedian. I got to a certain point as a comedian, I was like, bro, I was just funny as hell for no reason. And when I say that, it
Right.
means like I'm funny, but like, where the fuck is this going? What am I building? It's just like, bro, I can go to somebody else's show, kill the show, and just go home. You know what I
Right.
mean? I get my whatever my pay is, and then I just go home. And that became like a hamster wheel to me, you know.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it was no advancement. And you know, I laid low and always. I mean, bro, I love writing. I got an amazing mind, and things just come to me. So I was writing the whole time. And then through my downtime, I wanted to come back strong. I came back with the all black comedy show. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I gotta move with purpose. I don't, you know what I'm saying? When I talk to people, talk to other people, hey, shit, what's up? What you got popping? I don't like shit, bro, chilling. I don't like to get that answer. You know, I want to
Right.
tell somebody where I'm gonna be at, what I've been working on, what I got coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, come fuck with me a certain date. You know, I have dates. You know what I'm saying? With the All Black Comedy Show, I got it booked out for the whole year.
What I like about what you do, and
Yeah.
I pay attention to everything. Um, although you deliver your message in a manner that you deliver your message, and some people can't take it. You know, some people love it, some people can't take it. But most people do. They can, right? But what I look at and I observe with you is how you treat the other the comedies. Excuse me, the other comedians, right? I kind of see how you interact with those people. You try to make sure you get everybody a chance, regardless of who they are, how long they've been, doing their comedy, whether they deem funny or not. With their peers, you go give a person an opportunity to fail or not, right? I don't never see you shit on nobody. I don't never see you get nobody your ass to kiss. If you can, you will. If you can't, you explain to them that you can't. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that a whole lot, because a lot of people get in certain positions and then they kind of look down on people, right? For whatever reason. No fault of that person, but just it's whatever that person is dealing with. And I see that, you're a different person in the way that you move, right? In the way that you encourage people, even if when people bomb. I done seen you clown people when they bomb, but I done seen you at the same time encourage them to keep going, because that's part of it, right? I see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a comedian, but I understand what it is to succeed. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna fail in anything that you do. You're gonna fail, but it's that extra encouragement that people give you that allow you to keep going, but keep going in confidence, right? And not only just that encouragement, because if the people can't give you an opportunity, it's still encouragement on the sideline given, bro. And I really respect that. You know what I mean? As it relates to how you handle your business, how you handle your shows, because there's oftentimes people who are trying out for the first time, just like how you did. You know what I'm saying? And they had to build up enough nerve to even ask you for help to be able to get on that stage and bless that stage. Well, we both know that public speaking is one of the scariest things to do, period. You know what I'm saying? Some people damn near rather get stabbed or shot before they stand up, you know what I mean, in front of a crowd to give them a gift in which they have and try to receive that information. It's the scariest thing in the world. But at the same time, people got to understand that failure come with that. You know what I mean? And it's not a loss at the end of the day. It's a lesson. And I see you giving that message all the time. Like, I see you doing that, all the time. Like, how does that benefit you, bro? How does giving people encouragement, giving people an opportunity, motivating people to continue to stay on stage, whether they bomb or not, how does that motivate you? How does that benefit you?
Okay. One, I got a legacy to protect, and I want that to be part of my legacy. That what I'm saying, I ain't never looked down on nobody that looked up to me, or I don't have to, make somebody feel small to make myself feel bigger. It's like
Yep.
I'm confident in myself and I treat people how I want to be treated. And I teach people even how to treat me. You know what I'm saying? So I show them the way. I lead. You know what I mean? I try not to be reactionary. I make the first move so I can show them what it is. You feel me? So I never give comedians a terrible intro, you know, because a lot of some vets will just be like, this next comedian coming up, you ain't seen him nowhere. And then, you know, the crowd already predisposed to not like this person. You
Yep.
know what I mean? So I just
Yep.
give everybody, you know, put some respect on their name, and it's gonna be on
Yeah.
them to lose the crowd. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's my show. I want everybody to be funny. I don't like seeing comedians bomb. Some comedians like seeing that. I don't want to see nobody bomb. It's a comedy show. Let's make the people laugh. You feel
Exactly.
me? And then from being
Exactly.
who I am and treating all the comedians with respect, no matter their skill level, like over the years, like I won't, you know, thank all the Atlanta comedians for even supporting my room. I never have, you know, there's never a shortage of comedians at my shows. You know, they all show up
Yeah.
and want to work with me. You feel me? Because how they know I'm not gonna front on them. They know I ain't gonna. You know, I will tell them if they can't go tonight. I'll be like, hey, bro, I'll get you next week. I'm not gonna be. You know, some comedians will look you dead in the eye and be like, oh, I got you, bro. And then you know the show will be over and they'll be like, oh, my bad. I'm not with all that. It's like, yes, I got you, or no, I don't. You know, and then with comedy, you know, how I deliver things and how I do it, it's like, bro, I'm not scared to say nothing because I'm not scared to do nothing. Bro, I used to bust the wedge on kickoff. So why I'm be scared to say something when I'm not scared to do, you know what I mean? And if you know, people might not understand that, but it takes somebody real crazy to go down and bust the wedge on, you know, on kickoff. You know what I mean? So saying something ain't nothing. Like it's just words, bro. Like I'm not scared to say. I say I stand on it. I wouldn't sacrifice my manhood for a joke. It's like I got principles in what I talk about. Anything I say, I done did it or it's about to happen.
So you got all black comedy show. You know what I'm saying? You really a lifelong comedian. That's just who you been. That's in your DNA. You know what I mean? Like that young man or that young woman that's inspiring to be a comedian at this stage in their life, but they don't know what to do. They don't know how to start. They don't know where to begin. Like, what advice would you give a young person, just who aspire to be a comedian and think that that's their path and what they want to do in life? What information would you give them to encourage them and inspire them?
Get on stage. Do comedy. Like comedy is the only profession where you have to practice in public. In the
Wow.
mirror, in the room, talking to somebody else, it doesn't translate to the stage. You have to be on that stage. Stay on stage. It's like no matter, you know, that's the best advice any comedian can give another comedian because while you're on stage, you will figure yourself out. All the
Yes,
problems will
sir.
iron itself out. Like even myself, I had like, you know what I'm saying, know what I'm talking about, stuff like that. I have to be still I'm still mindful of that. And it's like the more you do something, you just gonna get better at it. So just go for it. You know what I mean? Go don't let your self esteem level stop you from doing so. Because a lot of people miss opportunities because they feel like they're unworthy or something like that. People assume that everybody got things figured out. Everybody ain't got everything figured out. Go for what you want to do, and you don't want to get at the end of your life with a whole bunch of regrets. So go ahead and get it out the
Right.
way. Get on stage and see if it's for you. Being on stage is like bringing somebody, getting on stage and showing them your point of view. You know what I mean? And like
Yes,
even with
sir.
comedy, when you say I'm a lifetime comedian, and I really feel like that because you know I got people in my past. Like when I told my dad that I was doing comedy, he was like, "About time." He was like, "You be no comedian. About time you try to get paid for it." You know. And
Right.
same thing. My head football coach from college said, "Like, bro, boy, you
Yeah.
been a comedian. Yeah, you've been doing comedy in my meetings." Yeah.
Right.
Now
Exactly.
I actually used to in college. We used to show up to the meetings early just so we, you know what I'm saying, we could talk shit and man, on the bus trips, man, I had a seat, man, bro, players used to fight for seats around me. just so we can laugh. Like, for real. Like, bro, you gonna have to move, bro. You know, I always sit by Shaq. You know, like, for real, bro. You know how football is. It was a distraction. Like, I stayed in school 5 years, and my fifth year, I was not a player. I was just a student. But the team wanted me to travel. You know what I'm saying? You know, the players wanted me to travel, but the coach was like, hell no.
So your words to the young people is to just go for it. Just get on stage. Practice make perfect.
You got to
perfect practice make perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and comedy is the only profession that you have to practice in public. Ain't no behind doors with comedy.
Ain't none of that.
You know, and with comedy, man, it's all practice until we get to TV. Until you doing a special, it's all practice.
It's all practice.
It's
so
all
practice on your greatness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So young lady, you know, young man, you know, practice on your craft. You know what I mean? If you want to be great, understand that action, faith without works is dead. You just can't dream it. You got to set goals and move forward towards it. You was about to say something.
And funny is relative. Somebody gonna be funny to everybody. You feel me? And some people, like, there's some people just, I'm funny as hell. And there's some people is just not gonna feel my, and you gotta be all right with that. You know, and you got, I mean, even on a large scale, like, people say Kevin Hart ain't funny, but his accountant don't know that. You feel me?
Exactly. Yep.
You dig? Like, you know what I'm saying? So funny is subjective. Just do your thing, man. Just keep them going. Like, if they laughing, you know, somebody gonna laugh. And go where they feel you. It's different crowds out here too. And I'm gonna tell you that. Like, in Atlanta, when I all black comedy show, it's part of that. Let me tell you, that's part of, like, on the scenes. There are black comedians here in Atlanta and other cities that only perform for, say, they call it mainstream, but, you know, it's white crowds. You know, and you understand that they're not as they don't judge you as tough. And I don't trip on that. I understand our culture. Black people we really want to laugh. If the shit not funny, we just gonna stare at you.
Yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying? Or either, you know what I'm saying, tell you to get your ass out of here if you being corny. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Because it weeds out the weak, bro. And if you're not built like that, you know what I'm saying, take your ass to a mainstream room. Or just don't even fuck with comedy. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have thick skin to be a comedian. You can't have jokes and can't take them. Like me, man, can't nobody saying nothing about me jokingly wise, you know what I'm saying, that'll make me, you know what I'm saying, mad. And now, if you get past, you know what I'm saying, jokes, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure somebody, like, just really heard your story that you just inspired, because I mean, just the journey itself was, you know, like, pretty dope, man. And you got a lot of stories attached to a lot of things. But you being a comedian is one of the stories that, you know, people need to hear, because, you know, a lot of people don't know that you started out. A lot of people don't know that you was a football player. Like, people don't know that. You know, they just see Shaq the comedian. They understand that. And there's so many different layers to Shaq, which is what makes Shaq who he is. Dog, you loved by many. You know what I'm saying? You used to be hated by others, but not really. It was just, you know, just the younger you, the alcohol you, which, you know, you don't even drink alcohol no more. So, you know, hats off to you for that. But, bro, for me to you, I want to let you know I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Keep going. Keep blowing. All black comedy show up. You know what I'm saying? Keep grinding. Take care of that wife. Take care of them kids. Let people know where they can find you and and more information about All Black Comedy Show.
Okay, I'm Shaq Double D, 2 Ds for a double dose of this pimping, the host of the All Black Comedy Show. I have a website, allblackcomedyshow.com. You know, I'm about to post the dates for 2021. I'm be booked out all year. On IG, Shaq_DD. On Twitter, I'm ShaqDD. You know, I do use my Twitter. I'm a tweeter. You know, I've been tweeting since 2010. I'm OG on Twitter, and I actually use it. Some people have a Twitter account, and they just got it. But I actually, you know what I'm saying? So you can go see random thoughts from me at any day, you know. And on Facebook.
With a lot of shock value.
Yeah. Anthony Shackelford on Facebook. You dig? And I post every day just to keep my crowd engaged, and it's just to throw things out there just to see how people feel them, what I need to expound upon, and.
Everybody, make sure y'all supporting the All Black Comedy Show. Shaq Double D, allblackcomedyshow.com. Y'all follow him on Instagram. Y'all make sure y'all support it, share it with your friends, invite your loved ones, invite the people that you hate. This has been Real Talk, with Coty Martin, Shaq Double D. Knowledge is power, but sharing knowledge is more powerful. Let's continue to make life happen.